Hello everyone, I forgot to change my thing. What's going on everybody? Hello Sonic, Al Bailey and Shade. I don't think I missed anybody. Did I miss anybody? I don't know if I missed anybody. Hello to anybody else is lagging. Let me change that thing real quick. This one. There we go. Oh god, that's big. That one. There we go. Hello, everyone. You got Phasmophobia? Good time for it. They're doing a Halloween event. Today, because PowerWash 2 is out, we're gonna do some PowerWash. I also want to keep the stream like sub 3 hours because I have another job I need to finish, which I'm working on, so I didn't really want to do like a super long stream of Battlefield, which tends to go for, you know, 5+ hours. And Arknights also has more stuff that opens up tomorrow, so provided nothing changes on me last second, I will probably be doing Arknights tomorrow. But yeah. I think I also have another Sonic Racing Crossworld stream on this week, I think. I just can't remember which day it is. I'll probably be either doing that or Monster Hunter tonight too on Oni's stream, so be aware of that. I will be over there. Not here, but over there. Anyway, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are good. Alright. PowerWash 2. I'm sort of excited, sort of. Move, WASD. Use washer, squirt. Change stance. Long weekend, spent most of today helping neighbors clean up after the windstorm. Rotate nozzle. Nozzle width. Change washer. Change nozzles. Change extension. Been playing Silksong recently too. It's been very fun. I'm told Silksong is an amazing game, so I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it. A lot of broken tree branches this time. One neighbor will need to replace part of their fence. That's no good. Open close game menu. Alright. Let's start cleaning, I guess. I don't know how trucks get this dirty, but that's alright. We won't worry about it too much. I have so far not been killed by any enemies. However, my own inability to properly parkour has killed me about 1,000 times. It's all good, mate. I'm not very good at platforming games either, so I'm sure if I were to play Silksong, I would be horrible at it. But I have no intention of playing Silksong. I know I'm bad at platforming games, so you can use soap too if you want. No soap. We just sit here and spray shit until it comes off. Save all of the soap. If it's anything like PowerWash Sim 1 where the game only gives you a little bit of soap and then makes you buy it all. Stupid game. It's gonna be so weird starting off all over again with no equipment at all. Oh well. These things happen. I also toyed with the idea of playing Jurassic World Evolution 3 this week, but I don't think I will. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens, because Jurassic World Evolution 3 is a really interesting game. I have been playing it. It's not a bad game. It's certainly a good game by Jurassic World Evolution standards, but it's a game. They have some really hard challenges in it, and I have been exceedingly frustrated with some of them. Exceedingly frustrated with some of them. I do admit, though, the baby cycle in Jurassic World Evolution 3, though, is really nice. That is a nice feature. That you can just have, instead of dinosaurs dying of old age, and then you have to, like, make new dinosaurs. Now you just make sure there's enough nests, and the dinosaurs tend to sort of maintain themselves. It's really cool. Depending on the dinosaurs. Some definitely do not, but most do. There are some dinosaurs that definitely do not maintain themselves. Nah, some of the challenges in this one are fucking horrible. Beyond anything I have seen, and I am certain that I am missing something, which I don't believe is going to make it like day and night easier, but it will sort of help my understanding, I guess, if that makes sense. I can't spray the cat. This disappoints me. Hi, Biotech. How you doing? Can I draw you on a side you haven't cleaned yet? I can't draw, man. I think I've sort of cleaned both sides anyway. I don't know how to draw Sonic. How's Sonic go? Fucking spiky, spiky, spiky. Nose, eyeball, mouth. There you go. Sonic. But yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff in Jurassic World Evolution 3 that I'm not understanding. Or that the game just kind of doesn't really tell you, I guess, is probably the way to go. Like, I'm pretty sure the game infers it, but it doesn't actually tell you, so I kind of just... Yeah. I don't know, I'll figure it out maybe one day when I can be bothered. When I can be bothered. And you want to know what? That day that I can be bothered, that's not today. No, I think 3 completely redoes the whole game. So I don't think anything that is relevant is not explained throughout the process of learning the game. I think it's just all new stuff, which is problematic, but whatever. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I always do. I always do. It's the first Jurassic World game that I've actually felt was worth playing, though, honestly. Like, the first one was good because it was all kind of cool and new, but the problem was the first one sort of fell short by comparison of other Frontier Worlds games. I think it's Frontier Worlds. The company that makes them. A lot of the features were missing, but Jurassic World Evolution 3 actually adds them. I'm excited for my model kit. It arrives on Halloween. What is this Halloween you speak of? I know no Halloween. A large chunk of Aussie land? Like 90% of Aussie land doesn't do it, if not more. Will you cosplay as yourself on Halloween? I won't cosplay as anything on Halloween, because we don't do Halloween in Australia. I just humor everybody else telling me it's Halloween. Although there are a grand total of 3 houses around me with Halloween decorations out this year. That's up 1 from last year. And that's only because I have new neighbors. And they're the ones that have the Halloween decorations up. If I ever get big enough that I go to a streamer convention, I will probably cosplay as myself, yeah. But I think most streamers do that anyway, so I think that's a normal thing for a VTuber. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll get big enough that I could be like Mouse and have a TV. Maybe. Probably not, but, you know, it'd be cool. Imagine if I could have a TV. Maybe you can be the 4th? No, I don't think so. I think I will leave the Halloween stuff to you guys over in the States. Doesn't Mouse get a TV because of her health conditions? I'm not sure. Because I don't think Mouse is the only VTuber who gets a TV. But I would not be surprised if that is one of the reasons that Mouse gets a TV, yeah. Like, I remember before Cinder killed her career, she had a TV. I think it kind of depends. Like some VTubers get a TV and some are just happy to go there and just cosplay it as themselves. Well, the thing I was thinking, right, is if I get to that point where I can be this big old fancy VTuber, right? I don't expect this to ever happen. Let's be fucking really clear about this, but if it ever gets to that point where I can, or where I am in the position to, I am thinking that I will get like a custom made wig. Now, you guys don't really usually see it, but the back of my head has like longer hair and then like 2 big feathers that come out of the back of my head. So I'll get like a custom wig with all that. And I'll probably just wear like a face mask with like, you know, like a pattern of my model's face on it or something. Just that sort of thing, you know? And then because I'm slowly moving into having like more casual clothes for this model as opposed to you know, the fancy clothes that you guys see with my actual VTuber model. Which would be so hard to get. So I'd probably just finalize just like a normal mask that sort of covers my mouth and my nose. Not like a whole face mask. I'd get some colored contacts and that sort of stuff, but Yeah. And then I'd probably finalize like this casual outfit, because this casual outfit is really only half done. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have actually seen like this PNG I've been using recently. It's literally just my regular outfit with the hoodie over the top of it. It's not actually a full casual outfit. I've never had a full casual outfit designed. So I'd probably finalize that outfit and then, you know, get some clothes to sort of do that. Maybe find somebody to make me like a proper cosplay hoodie, like the one that you guys see me wearing, like actually get one designed and made by somebody who can actually have it done. And yeah, I'd go like that. I'd probably show up, maybe, depending on, I don't know, where it is. Depending on where the convention was. If it was in the States, I'd probably try and push for a TV, but I don't think I'll ever be fancy enough to have a TV. I think you've got to be like super fancy to get a TV. Or at like Mouse, who has a health condition, which is, you know, prohibits her from traveling. But it's a dream. Tibs hoodie merch when? I don't know if I could ever get a proper hoodie merch done. Like, of this actual fluffy, feathery hoodie. I feel like it would be prohibitively expensive. Ow. My sister wants to do movies for Halloween. I think we're doing Rocky Horror, then some Tim Burton and Depp movies, and Sleepy Hollow, Edward Scissorhands, Sweeney Todd, and Dank Shadows. Dark Shadows is a plan. Also, who would roll you around on your TV? I think they have like a convention assistant person that sort of... They don't wheel you around, I don't think. I think you kind of drive the TV. I don't know how it works. I've only ever seen it a couple of times. I don't know how it works. I know a lot of VTubers do get a TV for just straight meet and greets, but I don't think you get to like roll around on a TV unless you like Mouse. Which is cool that they do that for her. I think that's fantastic, but I don't think I will ever qualify for that level of TV awesomeness. I think the best thing I would get is like a meet and greet with somebody, which would be really weird because if I was in Australia, there'd be like this delay. It'd be like, you know, those news things you see where someone's from the other side of the country and they're doing a live crossover and you've got to wait like 2 to 5 seconds for the response to come through. I think it'd be like that. It'd be really weird. But yeah, I think that having an actual proper Tibs hoodie merch would be prohibitively expensive. Because you got to remember the current hoodie design, as it is not like just a standard hoodie. Like the hoodie itself has like a little bird head design on the top of it. I mean, you guys have seen me wear it when I have a model. And it's got the feathers on the arms and that sort of thing. So, like, it's not a cheap, well, it wouldn't be a cheap design. I mean, I could probably, if I were to get big enough, I could probably do, like, a limited run. Like, maybe have, I don't know. See, I don't even know how much a limited run is worth in that sort of scenario. Like, I sit here and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe we'll just get 10 done. But then I sort of sit back and I think to myself, well, if I got to the point where I was releasing stuff like that, like full proper limited edition stuff, like you wouldn't want to do 10 because 10 would just go. And that'd be really unfair. Like you'd need somewhere between 50 to 100. And I think at the end of the day, unless I honestly charged some ridiculous amount of money, which I wouldn't ever want to do, the bulk of that would come out of my pocket anyway. Like, I think they would be sold at a loss. Like, it would strictly be just something cool for people to have. Like, it wouldn't be to make money for me. It would literally just be, this is a collector's item. You know, this is all you guys. It's nothing me. Like, this is coming out of my pocket. You know, what you pay only recoups me 50% of the cost, you know? It definitely would not be something that I would make money from. Unless I, you know, sold them for like 200 bucks, which I just don't want to do that, you know? I would never want to do that. Like, the only merch I've ever considered selling, like genuinely considered selling, if I would have become popular enough, are like little things, like keychains, standees, that sort of thing, you know? Oh. How? Keychains, standees, that sort of stuff. Like, I even did a test run of keychains before. There are Tibs keychains in the world. There are 8 of them, I think, in the world. Maybe less, 6. Definitely under 10, let's say. Which was done as a bit of a test run just to see how they'd come out, and I wanted to test the company. I wanted to see what they'd actually come out looking like from the company who produced them. I also wanted to kind of stress test them. Thought we would like slowly just get feedback as to, you know, whether they break after they use. Like, I have one person who I sent one to who quite literally has a Tibs keychain attached to their phone, so, you know, that thing's getting thrown around. That's not just sitting idle and stuff. I know a few other people who actually have them on their car keys, so, you know, I know they're getting actual use. They're not just sort of sitting on somebody's shelf. So, yeah, because I don't want to sell I don't want to produce a whole bunch of, you know, keychains or something, and then somebody comes back to me in a week's time saying, hey, look, it fucking broke. Or, you know, if one person comes back and says, hey, it broke, then that's fine. But, you know, if 10 people come back and say it broke, then that's, you know, that's a bit of a problem. So I also wanted to see if they would actually survive actual use as opposed to that sort of stuff. Tibs phone pogs? What's a phone pog? I have not heard of this. The suction cup looking things? Is that what they're called? Pogs. I know some people still use those, but not a lot. But yeah, no, I've only ever thought of doing simple little things. I haven't ever thought of the biggest thing, and I'm pretty sure I've spoken about this. The biggest thing I have ever considered doing as far as Tibs merch goes was a Mimi plush. That was the biggest thing I'd ever considered, and it wasn't going to be particularly big. plush goes in the jar, it will be too big to fit in a jar. An NJI plush? What's an NJI plush? No, a Mimi plush. Mimi. M-I-M-I. Mimi's the name of the little bird that I have on some of my outfits. My mascot, if you will. That is what my artist named it. I let my original artist name the bird, and Nyako decided to name it Mimi, so that's the name that stuck. Because I never originally asked for a mascot, but Nyako, when designing my character and some of the associated artwork, just ended up drawing a bird. And so, yeah, it stuck. And I asked Nyako to name that bird, and that's the name she gave it. Can you draw a chibi face yourself? I don't think I can draw anything. I don't think I have enough room. And probably not. I definitely can't draw a chibi. But I can't draw, man. Who told you I can draw? The show Superstore? No, I have not. I have no artistic talent at all, Sonic. I don't know where you get this idea from. There is no easy for me, there is only complexity and pain and suffering. Get me face! Feathers out. It's like a Tibs blob. We don't get a lot of American TV over here, so no, I haven't really seen anything. I've never heard of that, so. We only get like the really, really popular stuff. It's more like a blob than a chibi, but, you know. I don't think we'd really get much of that anyway over here, Balian. Like, things are a lot different over here from how they are in America, so I think a lot of the humor would be lost on most of the people over here anyway. Don't you have your own Chibi Tibs PNG? Yes, I do. I do have a Chibi Tibs. The Chibi Tibs is actually what the keyring is. The keyring that I sent out in very limited numbers, super ultra limited edition Tibs keyrings. For now, anyway. Yeah, those were Chibi Tibs. So, all across the world, there are, I don't know, half a dozen Chibi Tibs keyrings that were sent out to super special peoples. I think I still have 2 left, 2 or 3 left. I think I only have 2 left. And one of them is mine, so I just never took it out of the plastic. So I think maybe I only have 1 left? I don't really know. Could I draw a Keyblade? I can't draw anything, Sonic. There you go, Keyblade. Cha-cha. I'm not an artistic person. Unfortunately, the one thing I do want to complain about with this game is they didn't actually make it so that the, when you are cleaning the dirt, it doesn't flow down. So you don't have to clean from the top down. It's very weird to me. It's a very weird thing. I was hoping they'd add something like that. I'm also trying to get used to this higher mouse sensitivity. I've been using my mouse on a higher sensitivity than I usually would. So my mouse is, to me, touchy as shit. The curse of the moldy toilet. So yeah, while it is true that I did release some very limited edition Tibs keychains, I will probably the same design will probably be used again in the future anyway. So they will, I don't know. While nobody will be able to prove that they're original, they were original. I don't know. It can be a point of debate. Certain people will be able to say, well, I had an original one. Even though they'll never be able to prove it. I'll know who I sent them to. I know where they all went. But yeah, if I do ever start doing merch, though, it'll be simple little thing. I don't even think I'll do stickers, honestly. I know a lot of VTubers do stickers. I don't really think stickers will be all that amazing. I think the most people who want stickers of like their VTuber Roshis and stuff like that, they kind of want cute stickers, and none of my stuff's really all that cute, so I don't really think stickers are on the board for me. But yeah, like just simple stuff like standees and key rings and shit like that, little memes. Maybe one day I'll do like a Mimi key ring. I do plan on, at some point in time, getting Mimi like a proper model designed. So one day you'll kind of see, I don't know if you guys really pay all that much attention, but like Kono has her sort of mascot, Blaze. I know it's typically attached to a model, but like it's semi animated to link with her model. So yeah, I'll have kind of like an independent model that'll be on the screen all the time. Whenever I get that done, that is. I don't know when I'll get that done though. That's a way off. That'll, if I ever get a 2.0 model done, that will probably be something that comes with that. Hey, Laura. But yeah, all that is a long way off. Unless something miraculous happens, all that is a long way off. Am I washing? I am washing. I'm cleaning. Power cleaning. The sink is still dirty. sure the air conditioner will love my power washer. Ha! I don't know. Let's say that if I ever get to 10,000 followers on one or the other of my platforms, ow. Actually, no. We'll say 10,000 on both platforms. If I get to 10,000 on both Twitch and YouTube, I will have a Twitch hoodie made, a Tibs hoodie made. Thank you for the hydrate and the stretch, by the way. $10,000 on both platforms. There you go. I'll say it now. No. Call it Twibs. Why Twibs? I think that's a fair thing, the Twibs hoodie. I don't even know how I would distribute that. I know very little about how you would distribute, like, seriously fully customized merch. And remember, kids, YouTube introduced the hype feature for smaller creators to push their vids to wider audiences. I have no idea how YouTube does shit. YouTube changes their fucking rules every week. YouTube's horrible for trying to understand the system. YouTube has a lot of tools and it's really good. Like, I prefer YouTube to Twitch, don't get me wrong, but YouTube likes to change their rules every week and it does my head in. I was talking to, I don't know how many of you guys know her, but I was talking to Mella the other day and we were talking about, you know, how to get reach and videos. And Mella was telling me about something and like, it was something like YouTube had changed within the last month. It's no longer a way to get reach. As of, you know, the last month. So, yeah, it's so frustrating because it must be frustrating for people like Mella, because Mella actually invests a lot of time in following like the algorithm system. Again, I don't know what else you'd call it. So for people like Mella who tries to follow all that sort of stuff and keep up with it, I mean, it must do your fucking head in. I tried to follow it for a little while, and then I'm just like, you know what? It's too fucking much. If I get found, I get found. If I don't, I don't. What am I gonna do, honestly? The only way I know of right now for people to completely, like, to slot the algorithm is to literally like, subscribe, and comment. Like, you have to have done all of them for every video. And I hate telling people to like videos. Like, I encourage people to comment on videos, sure. But I don't like telling people to like the videos because, you know, there's this little curated list in YouTube. I assume everybody uses YouTube, so. of liked videos, and I get that people like to keep that list relatively clear for like shit that they actually want to, you know, go back and refer to or watch again and that sort of stuff. Like, I don't like telling people to flood that liked feature with, you know, just every fucking video I put out there or every stream I do. Like, I don't want to encourage that. That's disruptive is what it is. There's no other word for it. It's disruptive. Thank you for the follow, Giggle McShitter. You also, for channels under 500k, hit that hype button. I don't even know where the hype button is. I've never gone looking for it. On mobile is on the swiping bar where the comments used to be. I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube on my phone, so I'm even less familiar with that layout. Although the YouTube just changed their layout on fucking desktop as well, which is incredibly confusing and frustrating, and I really wish companies would stop doing it because it shits me. Now everything is rounded and weird. Reaches in your target audience? I mean, I don't... Target audience is probably a loose way to put it, yeah. I mean, I don't really have a target audience. Do you remember when YouTube had a personal message function? I do not. I don't spend a lot of time actually doing anything on YouTube, though, to be fair. I mean, I may remember it, but my brain is not registering it. Like, that rings a bell, but... Ding, ding, ding. It was years ago, like way back in the early years, I used to chat to people in there all the time. I even talked to Smosh one time because they were famous. I don't remember it, but it does ring a bell, so... Do I have to have these cats, or can I just sort of understand that the cats exist. Before they were famous. $200 pulls should give you the pity, isn't it, Shay? $300. That sucks. I'm not even sure how good she is. I'm really reluctant to believe she's great just because I don't like the archetype, but I don't know. I haven't used her. I have her. I haven't leveled her. I have been not playing Arknights. I have been very lazy. Very, very lazy. I did like the very first set of stages, and that's all I've done so far. That's why I say I will probably do Arknights tomorrow, because I should probably get through that event. I've just been really busy lately with a lot of different things. And I find myself not having as much time to just arbitrarily play things as I would like to have. And this game is perfect for me. Honestly, I'm glad that this is out, because I had run out of things to do in PowerWash Sim 1, and I do like to have just a stream where I can just have something going on in the background, but I can also chat to you guys at the same time, and PowerWash Sim is... PowerWash Sim is absolutely the game where I can just stop at any given time and just chat. You know, I'm not committed. Like, it's not like Battlefield where once I'm in, you know, for me to have a real conversation, I have to wait until the game's over, you know? With this, I can just be like, yep, you want to, you know, we want to discuss something that's I have to actually stop and talk about, or I actually have to go and look at, then, you know, I can just go, yep, all right, no worries, let's go do that. Whereas, you know, I can't really do that when I'm playing Battlefield or... I have done all of the stuff in PowerWash Sim 1. I've done all of it fucking several times over now. You know, I'm honestly surprised Mecha Break hasn't made an end of service announcement yet, considering how sharply their player base has dropped off a cliff. I believe that Mecha Break actually has a massive Chinese following, and that's why we haven't seen an end of service. Because you need to remember that the Chinese servers are completely detached from what we see, or what we have the availability to see. So, yeah. To the best of my knowledge, they use those Chinese servers to balance everything and sort everything out that they shouldn't be doing in that sort of close environment, but are. But yes, you are very right. Even all the achievements? I don't know if I've done all the achievements. I would say not, because I don't typically hunt achievements. I'm not an achievement person. I can count on one hand the number of games I've run through to 100% completion. Because I don't typically care enough. I'm not that invested in most games. Let me have a look real quick. I'll have a look just to sort of tickle the creative fancy. Library, PowerWash Sim 1. I have not got a lot of them. Like, I'm just looking at some of the achievements in PowerWash Sim 1. Lantern Hunter. In the treehouse, complete all of the lanterns first. I can see clearly now. Complete the fire truck, windows, windscreen, and wing mirrors first. Like, I'm not gonna do that. You couldn't pay me enough. Like, you could dump 10 grand on the table right now and say, I want you to do all of these achievements. And I'd just be like, yeah, nah, not happening. My time is worth more than that. Which is kind of funny, because, I mean, if I actually went through and looked at them all and did them all, it'd probably only take me, you know, I don't know, what, half an hour per map? How is that possible if you completed all the maps, including the DLC? Because some of them you need, like I just said, some of them you actually need to do things in a specific order, and I just don't do things. I just do shit how I want to do shit. Like, go through the treehouse and clean all of the lanterns first before you do anything. Like, imagine a map 3-4 times the size of this with, I don't know, a dozen, maybe more lanterns around the place. Like, I'm not going to go and specifically clean those lanterns first. Not a fucking chance. I got better things to do. I'm just here to clean, man. I'm just not here to clean in a specific order. It's like one of the other ones I said on the fire truck map. Make sure you clean the windows and mirrors and like all the stuff you see out of first. I mean, it would be like the last map where I cleaned the moving van. I'd have to do the windows and the mirrors first. Like, I'm not doing that, man. I'm just gonna clean the fucking truck. The mecha break kits? I'm not sure. I don't recall when they were supposed to start coming out. I know I said I would probably buy some of them, but no. Now that the game has done what the game has done, I am definitely not buying any of them. I'm sorry, man. Trust has plummeted. I would have absolutely committed to an Aquila and a Stego, but you know what? You betrayed me, Mecha Break. You're not getting any of my money. Nah, I would have. I was definitely going to get a Stego and an Aquila, but I'm not doing it anymore. Like, they didn't even need to sell me those. I was going to buy them, but now that I've seen what they've done to the game, I'm just like, nah, man. I don't want to support your sinking ship longer than I have to. Or longer than I have already by buying, you know, the first season pass. And, like, just as a loose example, of how easy it is to sell me shit, I just recently bought an Arknight's lore book for $140. A lore book. So, you know, you don't have to try hard to sell me something. If I can see the value in it and I can see the value of the game, then yeah, I'll buy shit. But I don't see value in Mecha Break because they're unaliving the game themselves. So I'm not subscribing to that sort of silliness. I get that. I'm just at that point where if, you know, someone wants to basically put their game in an early grave when the game has no reason to be put in an early grave, it's just like, you know what? I'm not throwing you any kind of life bra or any sort of life ring. You just going down. Sorry. Just die already. just let the ship go. Stop fucking taping up the holes. I don't think it'll sink very quickly. Do you think Chronos the New Dawn would come out with DLCs? I don't know. I didn't finish the game, so I don't know whether or not it's open-ended enough to have DLC. From what I played of it, it doesn't seem like the sort of game that would have DLC, but like I said, I didn't finish it, so I can't say with any real certainty. I will probably get around to finishing it at some point in time, but I don't know when. Because I did enjoy that game. It was a good game. It just fell in a bad section of timeline for me. However, speaking of DLC, Sega is planning 3 years of DLC for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Three years. That's a lot of DLC. DLC, you play from the perspective of another traveler? I could see that, you know? Did I say Sega? Yeah. I did say Sega. did indeed. I don't know how they're going to get 3 years out of that game of DLC, but anyway. Unless they sort of drip feed people with DLC, which I don't think is a good idea. They've already made some pretty shitty choices in Crossworlds, starting with the price tag, but I think drip feeding DLC is not the one. Drip feeding DLC is probably the worst thing they can do with that game. Now, that's not to say that I think they should bum rush DLC out, but at the same time, if you think of all the Sonic characters in the Sonic franchise, for example, like, yes, you could easily get 3 years of DLC out of a game on those Sonic characters, but do you really want to drip feed fans Sonic characters for 3 whole years? Like, that's just a career-ending decision right there. At least it's cheaper than Mario Kart World. Only slightly. I think that was their first big mistake. I've been very vocal about that, actually. That's the only thing that I have against the game, is that it's significantly more expensive than it should be. I don't know how much that game is in US dollars. Shade, are you here? Can you do a price check for me? There's dozens of characters they could add. Sonic Racing Crossworlds. $70 USD. If they sold that game for 50 USD, it would probably have sold twice as good. That's my hot tip. Is if they had sold it for 50, it would have fucking sold twice as much as it did. Because if you look, even at the Steam things, like, all the reviews are positive on Steam, right? But there's all, in nearly every review, everybody says the same thing. It's too fucking expensive. It's a great game, but it's too expensive. So, yeah. If they had knocked that game out for 50 USD, they would have killed it. That would have been their best marketing decision they could have made. Full stop. I feel that the deluxe edition or the season pass tack on that they've got is fine for 30 bucks. I don't think that's too bad. I think it's $30 for me. I don't actually know how much it is. That's fine, but the base game is, ooh, it's too much. It's too expensive. Look, right, Silksong is 100% game of the year and it's 20 bucks. Exactly. Silksong didn't pretend to be anything bigger than it is. But Sega has this really bad habit of selling things for fucking far more than it's worth. Like, they have a bad habit of it. Anything that has that brand name on it, they treat it like a Ferrari, right? As long as it's got the Ferrari badge on it, it sells for 50% more. I disagree with that, Sonic. That's what Nintendo's blaming it on, and you know what, I'll let the Nintendo side of things slide, but I think it's just straight up greed from people these days. Like, I said this to someone else the other day. Like, Nintendo flat out said it was the tariffs, so we'll just leave Nintendo alone. We'll leave Nintendo over there in its little pile of stuff. But the one thing I've noticed is that a lot of Japanese game developers seem to think that their games are worth a hell of a lot more than they actually are. If you look at any Japanese game developer, they're always more expensive than they should be. Street Fighter's ridiculously expensive. Most of the Team Ninja games are ridiculously expensive. We've now seen the Sega game. Anything with a Sega brand on it is fucking ridiculously expensive, from Total War to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Yeah, it's... Unfortunately, I find it to be, and it's not exclusive to Japanese game developers, I want to be clear on that. But if you look at Japanese game developers, they tend to be a lot of the problem. Sega's always had a really, really bad habit of overpricing. Always. As long as I've known Sega, they've had a really horrible habit of overpricing. And usually not just by a little bit. They usually overprice by a lot. Capcom are fucking horrible for it. Capcom have always been horrible for it. Capcom got ripped apart for the Street Fighter stuff, and they doubled down on it, which is the most surprising part. I mean, bless them, but... Bless them for thinking they're in the right, but... AC6? Assassin's Creed 6? And then you've got stuff like what Balian said. You've got Silksong, which could have sold for easily 30, 40 bucks, and they didn't. So there is that, but... Armored Core 6? Is Armored Core 6 fairly how much is Armored Core? Let me have a look at Armored Core. Armored Core came out ages ago, didn't it? Let me have a look at the price listings for the Armored Core, so I know how much it came out. And I'm not just, like, pretending I know. Okay, yeah, Armored Core came out at a decent price, yeah. Yeah, see, I'm happy to pay $90 Australian for a game. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. But, like, the standard now in Australia is $110 for a video game. $110. Now, I know that probably doesn't mean anything to half of you guys, because, you know, you're somewhere else in the world, but... $110 is a lot of fucking money. $110 is food for nearly 2 weeks. Like, I could eat reasonably well for 2 weeks on $110. I couldn't eat good, but no, I could eat reasonably well. Now, and I want to be clear that that's just dinners. That's just dinner. Like, that doesn't include like breakfasts and stuff. Like, that's just dinner food. So I can't say I can live on 110 because I can't. But yeah, like, I just... And then, don't get me wrong, there are certain games that are probably worth it. Like, let's look at... Let's look at Battlefield 6, for example. That's 110 bucks Australian, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. But I played the demo. I played the open beta. The demo, call it whatever you fucking want to call it, I don't really care. Battlefield 6 did everything right, and I know that they've stated that they're not gonna sell Season Pass stuff. Like, what I paid for on day of release is what I paid for, and I'm not gonna have to pay for anything else, presumably, for a little while. That, to me, does tell me that Battlefield 6 is worth $110. Why? Because I know that I'm probably going to get hundreds of hours out of that game. So I'm comfortable paying that for that sort of game because, you know, I know for a fact that in 2 years' time, I will probably still be playing Battlefield 6, and I presumably won't have paid anything extra for it. Now, let's talk about Stellar Blade for a minute, which is also the same fucking price, 100 and still a year after release, or year plus after release, still $110 Australian. I'm gonna play that game once, I'll probably get about 20 hours a game out of it, and then I'll never touch it again. If I am paying $100 for a game, I want 100 hours out of that game. That's how I decide whether or not a game is worth it. It's $1 per hour. That's how I rate whether a game's worth it to me or not. So, you know, I paid $110 for Battlefield 6. I expect Battlefield 6 to get 110 hours back to me. I have currently spent, let's have a quick look just to fucking shits and giggles this. I've currently played 97 hours of Battlefield 6. So I've nearly got my money's worth out of that game already. So, yeah. Whereas I know for a fact that Stellar Blade would not give me the 110 hours that I crave from that game. It probably wouldn't even give me the 70 bucks American. Like, even if I would have used US dollars instead of Australian, it still probably wouldn't give me the 70 hours. So is Stellar Blade worth it? Absolutely fucking not. I don't care how good that game is. And let's be reasonable, I don't think Stellar Blade is going to be the best game I'll ever play, so... there is kind of that, you know, is it going to be an overly exceptional game? No, it's not going to be an overly exceptional game. It'll be a good game, don't get me wrong. I'm sure Stellar Blade is an amazing game. It's just, it's not worth that much money. And while I did plan on actually picking up Stellar Blade on sale whenever it went to, you know, 70 bucks Australian or something that I actually feel that it's worth, I sort of sit there and look at myself and I go, well, I'm not entirely sure that this is, you know, I'm just not interested in the game anymore, so I'm probably just never going to play Stellar Blade because I've just lost interest in it because it's too expensive. And then you've got to ask the question, well, how many other people sort of fell into that boat? Stellar Blade is a Gooners game? I don't know if it's a Gooner game. I'm told Stellar Blade was a very good game, but it's not $100 good. Sorry. That's not to say that Battlefield 6 is $100 good, but it's gonna give me 100 hours worth of fucking gameplay, so... you know, it'll give me my money back in time. The game has to give me something of equal value back. If it doesn't give me something of equal value back, then it's not worth it. It's kind of like Mario Party. Not Mario Party, Mario Kart. Like, that game is $116 Australian. And I'm told that the actual, enjoyable lifetime of that game is not very high, so... like, by comparison of previous Mario Kart entries, for example, so... yeah, I don't know. Stellar Blade for full collection is like 50 hours, beating a game is 25-ish. Yeah, see, I'm not paying $100 for a 50-hour game, and I mean, odds are I'm not going to play that game full to completion unless I love it. Like, I very much doubt it's gonna be comparable to, say, Nier. I honestly didn't feel comfortable buying games like Stellar Blade in public, especially not at a game cashier for same especially not at a game cashier, same for Bayonetta. I mean, I don't buy physical games anymore anyway, so I don't really have that problem, but... I have every intention of buying Stellar Blade when it came out on PC, because I don't own a console, on modern console. But, yeah, when it came out for that much, I was just like, nah, man. You're taking the piss. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I've hit a point where I would rather not play a game at all than pay for a game at a price that's just unreasonable. And I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have bought Battlefield 6 had they not had that open beta. Had Battlefield 6 not had the opportunity to actually prove itself as a game worthwhile, I would not have bought it. But Battlefield 6 did prove itself. It came through hard. Good on them for finally doing the right thing. Only took them 10 years or something. I think Capcom's probably going to hit a bit of a wall soon too. Capcom has a really, really nasty profit margin that they need to keep themselves to. I think it's like 30% or something. I think that's where Microsoft probably got their profit margin shit from. I think Capcom's gonna get a bite in the ass soon. How much do I have left to clean? I only just started this. I'm only 12% through this, so... I think you'll see that Capcom's gonna be in a lot of strife in the next couple of years. I could be wrong, and I could maybe be proven very wrong, because Capcom do have this really nasty habit of selling Street Fighter stuff for a ridiculous amount. And people are stupid enough to buy it, so maybe that'll sort of float them, but... I don't know. The Street Fighter community is a very strange beast, and I appreciate the gusto they have in supporting their chosen fighter, but phew. You guys are hurting yourselves. Monster Hunter Wilds was fairly priced at release, I think, but given the last few Resident Evil games have been... I think... No, Monster Hunter Wilds was flogged as well. I remember that. Let me have a look. Yeah, no, it was 105 Australian. That was a piss take. Monster Hunter Wilds is currently 70 US. Which, don't get me wrong, Monster Hunter Wilds is a good game, but it has a lot of problems. And I get that a game having problems shouldn't really impact the price. Like, if a game is worth whatever it's worth when it works perfectly, then, you know, it is. But the problem is when you release a game that's half-cocked, and how long's it been since that game was released? Like a year, maybe? I don't really remember. Six months, 8 months? I don't remember how long ago it was released. And you still haven't fixed the problem? And you're actively ignoring the problem? Which they are actively ignoring the problem. They're just hoping it goes away eventually. All they're caring about is releasing new content, because new content means new money. Because Capcom is driven by that fucking 30% profit margin. Or it's not even a profit margin, I think it's 30% growth. Which is arguably worse. Good for shareholders, I guess, but bad for everybody else. Yeah, all they care about is moving product, is the problem with Capcom. Like, they don't actually care about fixing the game. So at some point in time, the game, which may have possibly once been worth $70, well, that game's not worth $70 because you never bothered to fix it in the first place. Like, you just left it and you made the issues worse and worse and worse because you didn't fix any of the old issues and you just made new ones. You didn't even try to band-aid them, you just left them and hoped that they'd magically go away on their own. So, I mean, a lot of people don't view it this way, but... And I don't know why people don't view it this way, because they really should. In my opinion, video games should be very similar to any other sort of product, especially given that they sell a digital game for as much as they sell physical games fallback. When they still sell physical games. Despite the fact that they no longer have to pay for packaging or anything, but that's okay. If you have a car, right, and that car has an issue, that car loses value. So, ideally, you'd get that car fixed if you wanted to sell the car. You wouldn't sell the car with the issue unless you just weren't going to tell people about the issue, which is a scummy thing to do. Don't do that, kids. Don't be a degenerate. Now, the car analogy aside, this particular car does not have something like, the problem cannot be hidden. Everybody knows what's in this car and what is wrong with this car. So everybody's going to sit here looking at this car going, well, this car's just got this, and this wrong with it, which should, in theory, reduce the value of the car. but for some reason the value doesn't depreciate because it has problems. It just stays the same value, but it's full of problems. Even if you fix the issue, cars are depreciating assets. Typically, yes. But why should a video game not be a depreciating asset either? Why does Black Ops... Hang on. I'm gonna fucking really hit you with the hard one now. Why is Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Black Ops 2, Vanguard, Ghosts, Infinite Warfare... Why are those games all $96 when they've been preceded? Why have those games not gone down in value? They are old games. Some may struggle on modern hardware. There may be issues that arise due to new hardware. They are very likely unsupported. They will be missing features because they don't have, you're not going to be able to find people to play online modes with. They may not, depending on the game, like Call of Duty Black Ops 2, for example. When was that released? That was released back in 2012. So just to be clear, a game in 2012 is still $96 on the Steam store. A game that's over 10 years old is still $90. If you can tell me what about that game in 2025 is worth $95, I don't know. I'll fucking gift it to you. It doesn't require constant physical maintenance to function. Well, that's simply untrue. I mean, it does require some sort of maintenance to function. Someone has to physically code it into a keyboard and a computer. Like I said, it's from 2012. The odds of it working perfectly on a modern system is unlikely. It's not impossible, but it is unlikely. I mean, Windows is typically pretty good about it these days, but I remember back there was a time where you had to fuck around in compatibility modes just to get games to work. And that was if it was just off a single Windows, like a single different version of Windows. It used to have huge issues with it. Windows tends to be okay with it these days, like it tends to be a lot more functional, but back, even with Windows XP, like anything that ran on any older version than XP used to be really, really fucking rugged to get to work. Used to have to fuck around for hours just to try and get it to work. All because it's not supported, because nobody was doing the maintenance on it. Like, it just, that was it. It was released, it was no longer supported. Let's have a look at... Okay, another example is all the games that run a physics engine. None of them work on the 5000 series GPU. Because there's no one doing the maintenance on them. They don't work anymore. I mean, they do, but good luck to you. So yes, a game absolutely does depreciate. If you upgrade your system to have a newer video card that doesn't support physics, then that game becomes unplayable. Now, eventually there's gonna come a point where, you know, the physics system is just completely gone from everything, and the only place you can find it is some tacky old shop run by some old man somewhere. So, you know, those games will just become unplayable. And there's just nothing anybody can do about that. That's just the way it is. But then that worth saying, like, is that game then still worth however much money when nothing can run it? Well, no. If it doesn't work on anything, the game's not worth anything, is it? If the card doesn't work, it's not worth anything. I mean, it's worth scrap, but you can't scrap a game. You could sell assets, I guess. You could do asset flips. Kind of like what Arc 2's been doing. I honestly don't know why they do it. Shade, honestly. I wish I did. I mean, I believe, given that the companies that usually maintain high prices, like Call of Duty, are the companies that are just inherently greedy. Like, we all know Activision will fucking... We all know Activision would steal your oxygen given half the opportunity to. An Activision rep would be the sort of person who'd find your wallet on the street, steal the money out of it, and then give the wallet back, you know? And then when you ask them where the money is, they'd be like, oh, no. You know, that's the sort of company Activision is. They always have been that way. I don't remember, I mean... Activision's been around for a long time, maybe once upon a time, you know, before my memory sort of fades into nothingness, maybe they were a decent company, but I don't remember when. Same as EA, I mean, I grew up playing EA games. EA was a fucking great company back then, but now, ooh. EA would take your kidney and then tell you you owe them money. No! I'm having a fucking time. Activision exec would take the money out of your wallet and then auction it all your personal effects for absurd prices, probably. EA's no better though. If you go back and look at all the Battlefield games, most of them are still sitting pretty at $100 or $105 or whatever they originally sold for. Like, they haven't gone down in price. Even the games that are just dead, like, they just sit there at full price for whatever reason, I don't know. I think it's just greed, honestly. I can't think of another reason they would maintain those prices despite whatever their product is being dead. Thank you for the hydrate. And the pasta check. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, a game should not... You mean like multiverses is set for a price? Multiverses? Question mark? You'll have to direct me to a franchise. I don't know what Multiverses is. I probably do, but you'll probably have to remind me. Once you remind me, I'll probably be like, ooh, that's right. Dead Warner Brothers Smash-like game? No. No, I definitely don't know what that is. But yeah, probably, if it's dead. It's just, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, you can't tell me that a game is... Just because it's a digital product, you can't tell me that a game does not depreciate. In value. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't remember ever hearing about a Warner Brothers Smash-like game, but I don't really pay all that much attention, honestly. The only Warner Brothers game I really partake in is Mortal Kombat, so... And even then, Mortal Kombat's gone a bad way, so... Mortal Kombat is a franchise that they need to sort of leave alone for a little while. I don't know, I think they just did too much with Mortal Kombat. They tried to add too much to it. They tried to be really fancy with it. They just, yeah, and it ended up being weird. I know a lot of people like, you know, Freddy Krueger and the Predator and all that sort of stuff being in Mortal Kombat games, but I'm just like, man, give it a rest. This is weird. You're being weird. I swear, look it up. It's called Multiverse. No, I believe you. I just don't, you know, it's not something that I personally would have looked into. It's just not a game I would have looked into unless somebody sort of directed me to it and said, hey, this looks fun, do you want to do this? Warner Brothers is for sale again? I did hear Warner Brothers was in a little bit of a financial problem. I didn't hear they were for sale. There's a whole YouTube channel dedicated to it. Jesus. Can I use the bigger head for this? Oh yeah. Hell yeah. I can actually clean a bigger area. That's amazing. It's taking too fucking long. I think that's the game's official channel. Oh. It's probably not ideal then. Paramount wants it. Paramount needs to stop gobbling things up. Paramount's starting to get a bit like Disney. They're eating everything. Paramount has that bad fucking habit of copyright striking things too. Paramount is not a fucking nice company. They are not good people over there at Paramount. You scared they're gonna ruin the fourth Sonic movie? I don't think they are. Especially since they delayed it. I actually have a lot of optimism for that fourth Sonic movie. I'm a little pissed off, admittedly, that it's gonna be delayed until 2027, but I actually believe that Sonic movie is going to be really good, especially given it's the last one. Remember, kids, it's morally acceptable to screw over giant corporations. As long as you don't get caught. All I'm saying is that Cyberpunk had it right. The Cyberpunk world was more accurate than we ever thought it would be. That's all I'm saying. Plus, how good does the Amy model look in the new Sonic movie, by the way? I just want to throw that out there. Amy looks so good in that movie. Her fucking render is chef's fucking kiss. I'm pretty sure they announced that Sonic 4 is the last movie. I'm pretty sure they said that outright. But I think they, if it's successful, I think they were going to, like, move to spin-offs and stuff. Which is fine, I guess. I don't really know. I freely admit I've watched it in theaters and brought all the movies so far. Because the directors listen to the fans about how that Sonic freaky look in the original Sonic was. Convince them to spend money. Yeah. Honestly, I will probably buy them all as well. Even though, you know, those disc days are slowly dying off, but I will wait until Sonic 4 comes out because I'm hoping that they'll release like a full box set, and because I don't really want to buy the first 3 movies and then they're like, here's the next lot of movies, box set, because I've done that before and I hate it. I just want to buy 1 box set, guys. That's all I want. I don't want 20 box sets, alright? I don't need 20 box sets. I don't want 20 box sets. I just want 1. Or I don't want a box set plus 1. I just want all of them, alright? The actors involved are looking to move on new projects, so I'm betting they'll maybe use the movies to kickstart new animation shows and movies, maybe a couple of new games. I don't know. Well, we know Sonic Frontiers 2 is being developed. We do know that, which will be again overpriced because Sega. Because Sega doesn't know how to release a game for a normal fucking price. So, unfortunately, I won't play that game at release because I'm not paying fucking $100 for a Sonic game. I am sorry, Sega, your fucking fuzzy hedgehog is not worth that much money. Thank you for the headbats, Kendra. I will pay $90 for that game. That's my final offer. I will pay $90 for Sonic Frontiers 2. That is my final offer. Take it or leave it. How am I? I'm good. How are you? There's a lot of talk of spin-offs, but I don't think spin-offs will be very well received, honestly. I think people like the Sonic movies because of what they are. But there's also a big rumor floating around that Sonic 4 isn't going to actually be a Sonic movie per se. It's more of an Amy movie. So, I don't know. We'll have to see, because a lot of people are complaining about that. which, I mean, I don't really care, but... Getting 6 definitely could be better. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully it's just a cold or something minor. I'm actually, honestly, more invested in Sonic 4 if it is an Amy movie. Like, more of an Amy-focused movie than a Sonic movie. I've secretly been an Amy fan for a long time, so I'm happy to see Amy take a more prominent role, because she's never really had a proper prominent role. I mean, yeah, we've got like Sonic Adventures and stuff where everybody sort of gets their own little arc, but nothing to that sort of level, you know? And like I said, Amy's design, so far from what I've seen, and let's be real, it's very limited, but Amy's design just looks so good to me. Like, it just looks absolutely amazing. So, yeah, suffice to say, I'm mega excited for Sonic 4. Which is probably my only real qualm about it being knocked back to 2027. Because I'm just like, give me my Sonic movie. Give me Amy. Because you got to remember how much money they probably are throwing into those Sonic movies with all the 3D and everything. Making new movies, even in that sort of 3D scenario, is going to be a big dollar thing to just sort of spin-off. To do spin-offs, you know? Heard that it be made into a rom-com, though. I haven't heard it go that far, but I have heard that it's more of like a Sonic chasing Amy thing as opposed to Amy chasing Sonic, which I'm okay with. As long as it's not weird, I'm okay with it. If it's weird, then I'm not okay with it. But if it's just a Sonic chasing Amy thing, then you know what, I'm cool with that. That sort of thing really doesn't bother me, you know? That's completely incorrect. Hey, I'm just going off what people are saying, which probably amounts to nothing because it's all over fucking Reddit, so... Sonic would never chase Amy or anyone for that matter. See, that's not true. I remember back in the very early days, Sonic used to have a thing for someone. I don't remember who it was. Stretch. Back in the days where Sonic looked like a fucking an actual hedgehog as opposed to what he looks like now. I remember there used to be one that he used to do. I think she was like a fucking raccoon or something. I don't know what she was. I would never call her a girlfriend, but I've never, see, because I don't mind it, because I've never really liked the idea of Sonic just being this, I guess for lack of a better word, a jock. Like, I've always thought that that attitude is fucking shitty. So I don't really mind it, honestly. I'd like to see a, she was a chipmunk, thank you, Bailey. I'm glad somebody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. That means I'm not mad. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. I believe she was like a love interest or some sort of interest back in the day. It was never like a proper love interest sort of thing, but it was, you know, always sort of there. It's just, I don't know, somewhere along the line, Sonic became this really weird, egotistical bell end, and I've never actually liked that Sonic. I've always thought that was like really, really unnatural, weird behavior. In the comic series, she and Sonic got married and had kids. Yeah, there you go. I appreciate you, Bailey, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm not mad. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think people remember Sonic like that, where Sonic actually had a personality. That wasn't this weird, self-serving personality. I would like Sonic to be more than a two-dimensional bell end. There you go, I said it. Like, I'd like to actually like Sonic as a character, as opposed to just him being a main character, you know? Yeah, a two-dimensional bell end. Like, Shadow's character is deeper than Sonic's, and that's saying something, because Shadow is not a very deep character. What's a bell end? An idiot. It's a British word for idiot, basically, or moron. It's all clean. I don't like that I can't throw a ladder on the ground still. Yeah, that's apparently what the underlying plot of Sonic 4 is going to be. Apparently. I don't know whether it's going to be like a rom-com or anything like that, but yeah, apparently, I don't know, there's going to be some Sonic interest in Amy, apparently. Apparently. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the grapevine version of the story. Which I don't trust, but, you know. You hear something enough times, you gotta give it some sort of interest, I guess. I don't know. I don't mind it, as long as it's not too much, you know? And I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff with characters changing recently anyway. Like, recent Knuckles interpretation, even Knuckles in the Sonic movie, ridiculous. Knuckles in Sonic Boom, which is even more ridiculous. I know Sonic Boom is supposed to be a comedy thing, but fucking hell, man. They did Knuckles dirty in Sonic Boom. You know what's strange? Apparently Sonic's personality was supposed to be based off Bill Clinton. No shit. I don't know if that's true. That seems a bit wild. But I mean, you do see a lot of things in the Sonic universe, multiverse, call it whatever you want, that, you know, a lot of people are actually have some semblance of attachment, even the people you don't think have attachments, so, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Another fucking whole year, I guess, or 2 years, or however many years it is, because we still don't know when the fucking movie's coming out exactly. Could get delayed again, who knows? I'm sure people will complain about it one way or the other. Even if it's harmless, I'm sure people will complain about Sonic if there's something to do with Amy. Because, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Amy is... I mean, obvious, quotey fingers, I guess. It would appear that Amy is going to be definitely a lead character, and I mean, the Shadow... Sonic 3 kind of had Shadow as a main character. Naoto Oshima, one of the guys behind the creation of Sonic, said multiple interviews in the early years of the franchise, Sonic's personality was taken from Clinton because in the 90s he was considered cool. I mean, I guess, yeah. Cool, I suppose? Question mark? I don't know. I didn't really follow politics enough when I was, you know, that age. So I definitely cannot speak for that. Bill Clinton, who's that? He is a US politician. Or was a US politician. Politician, president. Got found out doing a lot of things he probably shouldn't have been. think he owned them all, at least, to his credit. There is a release date? I didn't realize it had a release date. I thought they just... sometime 2027. March 17? At least it's the beginning of the year, I guess. That's positive. Assuming they don't delay it again, anyway. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I don't even know who's voicing Amy. Do we know who's voicing Amy yet? Now he does paint. Does he? Fair income. Huh. What a humble life he leads now. Not half bad at either. Well, plenty of ladies can attest to his finger work, so... I suppose it should come as no surprise. Effects on the window really gives me the happy dopamines. It gives me the serotonins. Painting is all in the wrist and shoulder. I'm sure he gave a lot of wrist work too, buddy. Don't worry. Funny bloke, funny bloke. Saxophone is all fingers and tongue. Isn't saxophone lips? I don't think saxophone was tongue. I thought saxophone was lips. There's tongue involved too. Understandable. Same goes for the trumpet. I've never done saxophone. I did a little bit of trumpet. Not by choice. It was something that we had to do when I was in school, I think. I don't remember needing any tongue for those sorts of instruments, but, I mean, I was a kid at the time. I don't remember. I'm willing to admit that my memory has failed me in that particular facet. I used to play trumpet for fun. I should have learned to play violin. But I have this disastrous ability to be absolutely incapable of learning other languages. That includes music. This absolutely disastrous inability to absolutely fucking have no clue what the fuck I'm looking at when I look at something in a different language. Again, that includes music. I have no idea what it is. My brain does not do anything outside of English very well. My brain just shuts down. I don't know what it is. I learned to do some very rudimentary guitar, but I want to be really clear on that. It was very rudimentary. I wish I could have learnt an instrument. I do, but like I said, I don't know what it is. Anything that's not English, I don't read it. I don't know what it is. That was that one music kid. I had to do music in high school for something. Well, not for something, we had to do it. It was just a thing. It was part of the curriculum. I don't even remember whether or not I passed music. I don't remember if I passed or failed that class. I'm assuming I passed it, but we will never know. We will never know. Guitar is the one thing I tried that I just could not get the grip of. Honestly, if I were able to learn anything these days as an adult, I really wish I could learn violin. If I could have a genie give me a wish to learn an instrument, that would be it. I'd just be like, let me learn violin. I've made such a mess of this, like, circular area around the bottom here that I am probably never going to get this clean because I don't know where I have and haven't cleaned. Adult violin. Yeah, but I can't fucking learn music. My brain doesn't accept. I like violin better than guitar. Yeah, I think the violin's a more versatile instrument than the guitar, honestly. And it's not just the versatility. I think the violin's a beautiful instrument, honestly. Not only that, these days especially, with some of the stuff I've started doing recently, I just don't have time to learn a fucking instrument of all things, even if I could read music. I'm music illiterate. I maybe use this one. Yeah, at the moment I'm learning things already at the moment anyway. Like, I study still. I am learning to do something else. On the fly, which is fucking doing my head in, I might add. For a number of reasons. I don't have time. I stream, obviously. There's obviously personal stuff that I have to take care of. There's a lot going on for me at the moment, and I don't have time to attempt to learn music. Especially given, like I said, I learnt music. I was tried to be taught music as a kid. I had to do music in high school. You know, like, I electively tried to learn to play guitar. You know, that's 3 different attempts that I've had where I've attempted to learn to, at the very least, read music. And I have failed every single time. So take that one how you want. I'm just music illiterate. I've accepted that. I'm happy to accept that and leave that as that's just how it is. So yeah. Let's do a car as our last job. Yeah, I'm currently learning. So obviously I do study for real world stuff. Note. But outside of that, I'm currently trying to learn to do video editing and stuff for personal things that I am immediately working on. So I'm kind of learning on the fly and harassing poor Ryrie constantly. Not that Ryrie's helping me with the video editing, because Ryrie's an artist, but I don't think I'm musically dyslexic. I think I'm just straight musically illiterate. I'm not even going to give myself the courtesy of being dyslexic. I'm just straight illiterate. But I've had Ryrie doing me a lot of last-minute jobs. Poor guy. Bless his fucking heart. But yeah, the video editing thing has been rough to learn on the fly, I do admit. But we slowly getting there. We slowly getting better. What editing program are you trying to learn? So years and years and years ago, I bought a lifetime thing of Filmora. So that's what I'm learning in, because I paid for it, so I'm using it. That's literally how it is. I paid for it, so I'm fucking using it. Filmora, yeah. Only because, like I said, I bought like a lifetime thing for it back before they started doing the annual subscription shit that everybody else does these days. So, yeah. I have all that. Which is okay, but they've kind of found a way to work around their paid subscription shit, even for people who have lifetime subscriptions, so that's a bit of a shame, but what do you do? At the very least, I get new version anytime a new version comes out, so I can't complain too much. Just means that I only have like half of the features that I would like, so... Or half of the features that you get for actually paying for it. Which I don't actually know how it works, which is really weird to say, because... Yeah, I don't know. I think they just have like a whole bunch of little plugins that cost you money over time, and I don't know how it works. It's weird to me. That's all I'm gonna say. It's weird to me. Do we do one more? Do we do the sign? Sure, let's just do the sign. Let's do the sign and that'll be it. That'll be it for the day. That's a big fucking sign. I'm probably gonna regret this, just so we're clear. I think what I'll end up ultimately having to do, honestly, though, is I'll probably end up having to use 2 different video editing programs to do 2 different things. Which is not ideal, but I just have this... I've come across an issue in the video editing, like in Filmora, that I simply can't... I've been looking for a way to work around it, and I just can't find a workaround within Filmora. And a lot of people, the response a lot of people have is just use X other program. So I'm just like, I guess that's what we're doing. I guess that's the fix. We just use another program. Which is not at all helpful, but again, what do you do? Like, if everybody's kind of pointing to the same problem and everybody's just like, nah, well, you're just gonna have to use a different program, I mean, what do you want me to do, honestly? Clearly, I can't do anything except just grab another program and just use a free program to do the one part that I need, which is just a fucking headache. Yeah, I've searched for the issue. People say people have found the issue, but I mean, people have the issue, but nobody has a solution except for use a different program. Not that I like using Reddit for problem solving, because Reddit usually causes more problems than it fixes, but desperate times. Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's a bit close. And I mean, to be fair, understandably, Reddit did give me the answers I was expecting of Reddit. I don't truthfully expect anything less of Reddit these days. There is definitely a certain caliber of response you learn to expect when you go to Reddit. But I will probably end up using DaVinci, I think, is the other one. I only need to do one thing, and it's really not all that complicated to do, so... It's fucking around in 2 different programs, which I didn't really want to do, but I mean, I do that for so much different stuff these days anyway that, I mean, I should just probably be used to it by now. Nothing seems to be doable with one program these days, unfortunately. Ow! I have fallen. Oh my god, those lights are so finicky. See, Headliner's got an update with new maps. I didn't see the patch notes. I did see the Headliner's got an update. I haven't played that in a hot minute. I probably need to find a group to play that with again. That's that one done for now. Let's move on to option 2. This is gonna take me so long. I may have made a horrible, horrible mistake here. Also, the RoboCop sequel game is on sale for like 19 bucks. I don't know if I have it in me to play another RoboCop game. I did enjoy that game, but it was a very long game. Which is not normally something I complain about, but playing it on stream was a long game. I probably won't get it, honestly. It's not that I think it's a bad game, it's not something that I feel like I have the time to enjoy, if that makes sense. You can play as ED209. I think you could play as like an ED209 limitedly in the first one, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I'm not sure. hole is going to be a pain in the ass. Especially given I've been lazy and I haven't bought any new power washer parts. I was trying to save up for, like, the new fucking stuff. I want to get the good stuff. I want to save up and get all the good stuff. So I can power wash like a professional. Because I remember when I was playing the first game, I kind of, I bought like everything new that I could get, and it really delayed me getting the good stuff, like the end game stuff, for a while. So I'm trying to avoid doing that again. But I think it may not be going to work the way I would like it to. God, that ladder got clean. I was worried I'd be fucking around with that for ages. But there are a lot of little games that are coming out that I will be playing. I mean, mainly these days I'll probably be doing like Battlefield and stuff, but like there's that Sonic game coming out, Sonic Bash? I don't know what it's called. Sonic, it's coming out in November, next month. It's like a party game or something. It's like Fall Guys, apparently. I'll probably be playing that with people. Obviously, we do Sonic Racing Crossworlds when we can. So it's finally certainly not like I have, you know, nothing to play for a change. I actually do have this really cool list of stuff coming up, and thanks to Battlefield finally being out, I can, you know, I have plenty to do in downtime. So for once, I'm not actually strapped for things to do, which is really nice. Because I'd had so long just literally waiting patiently for games to come out, which has been killing me. But now I actually have plenty of stuff to do, you know? If I want something a little bit more entertaining to do, or I want to do, you know, some community stuff. I've got Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. If I want to just chat, I've got this. I've got Battlefield for just days where I want to stream something. Do I ever play games off stream? I do. I tend to play a bit of Battlefield, a fair bit of Battlefield off stream. I do most of my Arknight stuff off stream. The large bulk of my Arknight stuff off stream. Kono and I tend to play a lot of Cross Worlds off stream. Ow! Thank you for the hydrate. So yeah, I definitely do games off stream. I probably won't do any of this game off stream just because I want to, and yes, Sonic Rumble. Just because I want to save this for when I want to do just chatting streams. Monster Hunter Wilds on Oni stream. Yeah, that's, I mean, technically that's off stream for me. I don't know if we're doing Monster Hunter Wilds or if we're doing Mario Kart, Sonic Racing. I think we are doing Monster Hunter this time, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure we are doing Monster Hunter this time. I did play some StarCraft 2 offline, or off stream. I do co-op in that. I don't actually play that in any sort of competitive fashion. Yeah, most of the time it's just Battlefield these days. Because I've been waiting forever and a day for Battlefield, so yeah, well, was ist das? Wow, Queen! Kono and I are planning to do another time trial thing in Sonic Racing, so there's that. I mean, but that'll be on stream, so I guess that doesn't really count. Yeah, a lot of my time these days is actually spent doing study and learning to fucking video edit. Which is wild because video editing has been another thing that's been very alien to me for a very long time, so... that's been a very big learning experience. David Bowie songs. Would that Sonic Racing stream be on Wednesday? Isn't that what you said? I think... I don't know. Kono did say that we were gonna... Kono does have a day off work this week sometime. I can't remember which day of the week it is. And I can't talk to her today because she's at work and busy, so... and it was a last minute thing too, because she was supposed to be doing something with one of her friends, but her friend pulled out, so... She's just like, hey, let's do this. I'm like, okay. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing Sonic again sometime this week. I just don't know which day it is. It'll either be tomorrow or the next day, but I'm not 100% sure which day. Because I kind of had my week planned ahead of time, and Kono just kind of said, well, look, I have this day free now, do you want to do this? And I'm just like, yeah, sure. But because I kind of had my own head canon in what my week was going to be, I forgot to commit it to memory. Because that's how my brain works. Or rather, maybe that's how my brain doesn't work. I'm pretty sure Nye's been pestering me to do something too. I think Nye wants to do something with me as well. Probably more Pete, knowing her. But yeah, there's a few collab things that I have coming up. We just haven't sort of settled on when everybody can do it yet, so... But I'm gonna... The Sonic Racing stuff, I'm gonna try and... It won't be every week, but we'll be doing it as often as we can. So yeah, there is that. That's something that I can say, is that we will be doing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds as often as we can, but, you know, I stream at a funny time, even comparatively to my peers, so... there's no guarantee that... This game didn't release with co-op? No, it did. Oh, well, it has split screen at the very least. Now, whether or not it has online co-op, I don't know. That's a good question. Can't answer that question. I know it has split screen. I can't answer that much. I don't want to have to do anything to try and fix that up. I want to just clean this and hopefully it'll just be clean enough and it'll ping over. I think I'm gonna get my wish. I'm gonna have to clean this properly, which is gross. Google AI says it does, apparently. Never trust the AI. The AI lies. The AI is a liar. But it would surprise me if this game didn't release with co-op, because I think the original game had co-op, so if it didn't release with co-op, I think it was a bit strange. Oh, I'm in the seat. I was wondering what was going on there. Maybe you should collab with someone in this game sometime. I have done collabs on this game, but I don't usually. On this game, I usually just talk to you guys. It's usually what this game's for me. It's usually just for talking to you guys. I don't like the seat. The seat's weird. The seat is not seating. I've done. I don't know of anybody who actually has this game yet. In my friend group, that is. I don't know if anybody does have it yet. My little streamer group. You picked it up release day? Yeah. I was gonna pick it up on release day and then kind of maybe forgot that it was coming out. So, yeah. That was the thing. Can I give this whole board just the good enough is good enough treatment? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of Battlefield 6. I do admit. I installed this before I started stream today. The first game was a really popular VTuber collab when it first came out, kind of like how Game Peak is nowadays. I want Viscera 2 to come out. Viscera 2 to come out would be an amazing thing for me. Viscera is an amazing game for collabs. Hey K-pop, how you doing? If Viscera comes out, I will definitely do a collab with people. But I have absolutely no idea if and when that game is ever coming out. Been throwing up since Monday morning, so I'm not doing that great. That's no good. Make sure you're drinking enough water then. Otherwise you will be sicker. Nobody wants to be sicker. You may have a hug, you may have a hug. Yeah, I know they're doing all that, but I still think it's going to be good fun. Just because of how simple it is. I think it's going to be a really simple, fun, stupid game, honestly. Or at least I hope it is. And it's just chaos, because everything's all good and fine until somebody knocks a bucket over, and then it's not good and fine anymore. It's all fun and games until someone snaps. And then it becomes funny. Because that's the kind of game Viscera is, and I love it. Can I take this or no? Do I just have to suffer on the backside? Like, how do I go on the backside here? Ah. Ah. Success. So yeah, I don't know. Viscera, if Viscera comes out some point, I will definitely probably buy that. Oh hell, I'll buy it for people. Because if it's anything like the first game, it'll come in like a 4-pack, so. I'll buy it and give it to a bunch of people and just be like, hey, we doing this. Is that all clean? Hell yeah. I'll give it to a bunch of people who just absolutely need to not be stressed, so we can just have absolute anarchy. Because that's what that game is about. You need people who are like, I don't know, they have their way of doing things, and if something disrupts that way, then they get like really aggro or something. Like that's what we need. So when that first bucket gets knocked over and the dirty water goes everywhere, somebody's gonna get unhinged. That's what we need. Because that's where the hee-hee-ha-has come from. When someone just goes full unhinged because somebody knocked a bucket over. Alright. We are mostly clean. What are we missing? Billboard rear strut. No? Mounting block and platform. That. Wait. Here we go. Over here. Spray, spray, spray. I think that might be the underside. That is definitely the underside. We're nearly done. It's nearly clean. I don't know where that is not clean though. Oh, there it is. my god, I've missed so much. I realized I'd missed so much. Might fall asleep while watching. It is a quite cozy stream. Although I am about to wrap up soon, that is probably the only downside. Look at me, I've done so well. Look at my floating man, because it doesn't show the Gerties I was using. I think I'm gonna probably need this first thing, because I don't think I saw like a different one of them. Yeah, no, I think I need this, because there's not another version of that by the looks of it. Whereas there are versions of the other things. I think I'll save the rest and see if I can just go crazy with it. Go crazy with it another day. All right, let's have a look at who we can raid, shall we? I have a suspicion I know who that's gonna be, but I'll have a look anyway. And no one was surprised. It's an Ari. Although Faye is chatting, let's throw you guys to Faye. I don't know what Faye's chatting about, so this could be an interesting raid, but we'll raid Faye. On Twitch, Sonic, on Twitch. There is the raid message if you guys want to use it. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much for dropping in and chatting. I appreciate it. I'm not sure what I'll be doing tomorrow. I will have to see when Con is off, if it's either tomorrow or the next day. And I will figure out where we're going from there. Otherwise, yeah. Tomorrow will probably be either Arknights or Battlefield. Probably Arknights, because I need to do some Arknight stuff. So, assuming that tomorrow is not Sonic, it will be Arknights. How's that sound? Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.